Thanks everybody for joining us on this lovely Friday.
Friday. Oh, I didn't say that. Sorry.
Yeah, we're
Oh,
taking
energy
over.
service partner.
We're taking our branding in a new direction. I figure, hey, look, there's a perfectly good mascot out there that the big company just abandoned. So that makes a fair game. Swap out, solar panel for a barrel, easy.
Apparently, like this is a hot topic. If anybody eats or has ever eaten at the Cracker Barrel and you have an issue with their new logo design,
Mm. I blended the elements. I think
vote now. There's a poll
you
running
go
at
for
the bottom of
the
your screen.
yeah, you go
Yeah.
for a little bit of the new vibes, a little bit of the old school throwback. There's nothing wrong with that. So
We do have a Q&A. I would say, if you think we should post this on our Instagram page, please tune in.
we're not gonna.
Oh, Danny, that's the reason for a poll.
Okay, all right, fine. Yeah, raise your hand if you want this on Instagram.
Yeah. Q&A, not the
I'm
cat.
putting my
Just the
hand
Q&A.
down, but you can raise. That's
Oh, I say yes. Let's post it.
let's get into it here. We've got a couple good installs of the week here. Got a nice big one over in Santa Clarita. Nice 20 kilowatts of batteries, 10 kilowatts on the roof. And we had an MPU on this one. A lot of fun. All kinds of good stuff. Again, just looking for those clean lines. Everything's nice and symmetrical. It's great. It's good stuff. And we also had another big, decent sized one in Texas, and it flew through 8 and change kilowatts. If you're ever curious about what a Tesla looks like before it goes to the dressing room, that's what
The innards.
the innards. Yep. So always fun to just see everything, what all wires are going in. This is everybody should be familiar. It's the, what do they call it? The gutter? I can't remember now exactly the phrase for it, but yeah, that's where all the wires go from between all the backup panels, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Good times. And then we also had some weekly wins. We want to bring these back. We've just been asking our teams, hey, like what have you guys been up to that maybe us on the sales and marketing side don't always hear about right off the bat? And we want to share with you. One of the big ones, we transitioned the concierge team. We changed things up a little bit and actually made it so that they are now regional focused rather than, everybody having, every partner having the same concierge to talk to. We made it so that they're able to get a deeper knowledge of the areas where you're selling. So if you're selling in the same area, odds are you're going to be talking to the same person and they're going to be familiar with the area itself. So I think that's going to make for a lot better experience overall, both for our partners and our customers. Have one person to talk to who already kind of knows the territory. And then with that too, we also, Gayla, if you remember, was on over the concierge teams, one of the managers on it, and she is now back to running our retention team.
Woohoo.
The artist formerly known as advocacy, if anybody's been around the block for a while. But yeah, we're really excited. Gayla's obviously amazing at what she does. She's just an excellent human, and we appreciate everything she's done for both the concierge teams to kind of bring them up to her level as best we can if they weren't already there, and yeah, I think she left them with some amazing tips and tricks and all that. And now she and Matt Meldy are back in action, dynamic duo, saving everybody's bacon. So
Love it. Go Galen, go.
Yeah, go Galen, go Matt.
good stuff. We'll keep these coming. Okay, here's our agenda. Yeah, just a couple things to go through. So we'll get through all of them. We got panel promo, got some updates from Treasury, Aurora, rate hikes, guides, lions and tigers and bears. Oh my, let's just get into it. Panel liquidation. As you saw, we have a little bit extra inventory in the warehouse and we'd love your help clearing it out. And we're going to incentivize you graciously, I would say. Brandon, do you want to tackle this a little bit?
Yeah, guys, it's actually quite surprising. We have a lot of cash bids going out there right now. And to be the most competitive in the market, that's where it's coming in, right? We got to get those deals signed before October 31st. And with that being said, this 20 cents is a negative adder. That means you're making 20 cents more here in the state of California to sell these panels. So I just want you guys to know, if you can do this, lock it in. It's 20 cents less. no, you cannot do a negative adder within Aurora. So you'll have to manually calculate it out. So let's say you're selling at $4, you're actually selling at $4.20. You're making an extra 20 cents on this product.
And these are good panels too. I mean, they're not the 410s or plus that we've had. Well, other than the M Solar, I forgot we had those. We got the 440s. Those are actually are probably one of our hottest items. So get those going, and yeah, just get out there.
Within on that photo, just real quick, Danny, you'll see at the bottom right, loan cash. You have a choice between the QCell 395s. If you see loan cash, those are your 20-cent options.
Yep. And we'll be going over that a little bit more too on the Aurora. We've been updating a lot of stuff in Aurora, so you'll see, get used to seeing this structure in Aurora when you're making a selection. It's going to be based on the lender or payment method first, and then the rest of the, equipment, et cetera, et cetera. The safe harbor. We're safe. It's great. It's great news. We've dodged quite a few pretty big bullets recently with the way all this shook out. This is more of the same. Means we should be good for many years now at this point. And I think
Danny, I have a question.
Andy, please go ahead. What is your question?
What is safe harbor?
Dude, don't worry. It means don't worry about it. It's safe. It's good. Basically, the lenders, a lot of our TPO partners are basically securing enough inventory so that we can continue operations. Everyone can continue to install and get the benefits that they were expecting from those programs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for many years to come, basically. So I've seen it posted a few times on social, like,
Yeah.
make a 6-month plan for everybody who's on loan and cash, but then dream big. What's your 4-year plan, man? Where are you going to be at over the next little bit? Keep going.
Yeah. So the lenders out there, the finance companies out there have procured equipment for a certain amount of time for a certain number of megawatts safely in the harbor, and in air quotes, the harbor, so that it's at a specific price point for the most part. And that way we can utilize that equipment that has been procured safely at that specific price point for as long as we possibly can. And the lenders have done their due diligence. So you may have noticed that the 430 watt panels out there from QCells, they did not make it through this program. And so they're now stuck. They're not safe harboring those panels right now. So that's why you'll notice a lot of the other guys out there are using different panels, or using the 410s, or we're even using the other panels that were on the discount list.
Yeah. And just to piggyback off of that, I've had a lot of questions regarding the Powerwall 3. Like, why can't we use that with the, cash deals? And I'm sorry, it makes it really tough. It does surround that safe harbor expectation. So we've had a few exceptions that could be made, but I've had to let some other people down this week. And although I feel bad about that, that's the reason, guys. So just know, if you want to really sell that Tesla Powerwall 3, gear your metrics more towards the TPO product. We have safe harbor. Pricing is locked in. You're solid that way.
Yeah. Also domestic content too.
And
Yeah.
domestic content.
That's right. Yeah. It helps with that stuff.
It does.
So anyway, yeah, this is a sigh of relief. Everybody's happy. We can get going.
Clear as mud. Clear as mud.
Clear as mud. Yeah.
Andy's favorite phrase. And Aurora, we have done a little bit of mud clearing here.
Yes.
There were a lot of different selections, a lot of different configurations. We're hoping that this will be the easiest way for everybody to just understand what they're choosing right off the bat, and not have to scroll through the list. Wait, is this the one, or what am I doing? So as you can see here, we've got all the lenders as the very first thing. So if you know you're planning on selling LightReach, just choose the LightReach option. If you know you're planning the Good Leap option, choose the Good Leap option. When you get to the batteries or the inverters, sorry, if you know it's an Enphase system, or if you know you're going for that TPW3, just click that. Only 2 choices rather than a dozen or more. So
Dude, it makes it so easy. Love it.
Yep.
Hey,
So yeah, go
hey,
ahead.
real quick, I'm going to steal the screen, Danny, just for a second, and you can take it back, okay? I have a good example of someone that was stuck just this morning trying to generate a quote. And so I needed to correct that for them. So here's what it looked like. So essentially, he had the wrong equipment here. He had actually chosen light reach and then Enphase on the side, right? And so if you're trying to sell a Goodleap product, it cannot say Enphase or light reach in any one of these sections. We want to make sure it says Goodleap with your inverter, Goodleap with your panel, and Goodleap with your backup battery. That's the purpose and the mechanics of this. Let's not mix and match. Now, if you need to switch to Enphase, that's great and all. We just got to update the design to then say Enphase panel, inverter, and storage. This is the absolute best way. Other installers are also taking this method. We've been working really close with Aurora to simplify things. This is a complicated world that we live in. If you feel like this is too complicated, give me a call. We can work on possibly another solution, but this is it. Make sure it just matches the lender of choice.
Yep. Yeah, it's a nice way to just double check. And yeah, definitely huge ups to the Aurora team. They were instrumental in getting all that
Yes.
up. Back to it here. Okay. And yeah, speaking of more resources, more education. So what I'll do, we're going to share these links. These are every lender does it slightly differently. And we just want to make sure you have these nuggets of wisdom, nuggets of information that you need at your fingertips. Goodleap is basically just what you see on the screen here. It's a PDF. So that's a super easy link. Lightreach, you're going to want to log in. They also have a news page, but you can use the chat and all of their guides are in there. And then Enphase, also you have to log in and yeah, all that good stuff. Andy, you were the one who alerted us to the video calls about Enphase. Speaking of Enphase, do you want to take that?
Yeah, September 1st, they're going to be doing a new video welcome call that they're going to have. And so you're going to have your homeowner on the phone. They're going to have a picture of them. I think they have to show an ID as well of them while they're doing it. Rather than going through the over the phone welcome call, you just got to do it on their phone. They have to allow their camera to work, similar to what the Goodleap was doing. Make sure you go through the test, log into Enphase, see what the training looks like for it. It's pretty basic for the most part. And I will also add, like, Light Region Knowledge Base is pretty rad. Their text to chat is really savvy and works really quick. I think for anything for Light Reach, and Goodleap's pretty self-explanatory themselves too. So good stuff there.
Yeah, you will need a login for most of these, right? So if you don't have a login for any one of these, make sure you reach out to your owner of your company and we can get you created.
Yeah, you should. If you have been selling these, you should have a login for it already. But yeah, if you need any help, for sure, like Brandon. Okay, cool. Ooh, scary graph going up to the right in a bad way, but maybe not a bad way for solar. This is from Canary Media. Again, I've plugged them a few times over the years. Can't recommend them enough. They help you stay on top of what's happening in the energy industry across the board. I mean, not just solar, not just batteries. They give you a really good perspective on kind of like what's happening policy wise, what's happening maybe in some, other states adjacent to the markets that you're selling in that might trickle into yours, all that good stuff. And this one, I mean, this is bananas to me. I didn't realize that nationally the average this year is 17 cents a kilowatt hour. That's kind of crazy, but yeah, sorry, you're circling. Let's focus.
I'm sorry.
Local first. SoCal Edison. Let's talk about that. Go ahead, Brandon.
Well, I just love drawing, man.
Crayons on the screen.
Yeah, if you guys haven't built a portfolio of these rate increases that Danny's talking about, I know many of us are selling in Edison. They just sent out an alert to homeowners and put it on their website. You guys can check it out for yourself. But I would definitely laminate this sucker. And they're just, well, what's happening is the bill is changing and they're adding in random costs. And you should see their excuses on that. So I would encourage you to go take a look at it. But an extra $24 per month is going to hit everybody's utility bill. And if they did it once, they can do it again and again and again, right? There's no reason for this other than what was it on their link? But either way, just want to let you know it's another $24 impacting the average customer out there.
Yeah, and if it's a base charge, sometimes people are like, "Well, I can't avoid it." Well, you can avoid all the other charges they're stacking on for your electric usage, and so that's where you can really take a bite out of it. Yeah, and then just on this side again, like as we all know, power is getting more expensive. But if you have customers who are like, "I don't know, I think my bill's fine," show them this. That's
Yeah.
almost a 25% increase on your average bill, no matter where you live. Like if you have the data, like in California that we do, it's been way more than that over the last few years. So anyway,
I was talking to a customer yesterday, and I told him a story about how old I am. And 17 years ago, when I sold my first PPA, and I was having a conversation with him, and I said, "Hey, the cost of electricity is going up, right around 4 to 6% every single year. And in 20 years, your $30 bill is going to be $130 a month." And they said, "That's crazy.
Yes.
There's no way that my tier one pricing in Edison at that time, which was, I think, 9 cents, or maybe it was 10 cents, that tier one pricing, when they used to have those tiers before it was time of use, was going to be 20 cents and absolutely double in price, 200%. Sure enough, 16 years later, it's done that plus some.
yeah,
And so do you think it's going to happen again? Absolutely.
oh yeah,
It's going to absolutely double and triple in price again over the course of the next 5, 10, 15, and even 20 years. And so when you see that final number, how much money are you going to spend on electricity in the next 25 years? And it says like $230,000. And people are like, "That's crazy."
believe it.
Not.
It's not. It
It's
is
not. It's
but
real. It's crazy, but it's real, and it's real life. So anyways, call me if you want to talk about that more.
For sure. Okay. Monitoring. So we've gotten a lot of questions about this, and we've been doing our best to gather all of the various methods by which people gain access to see what's going on with their system. And there's a few different ways. If they are on TPO, this is the main thing you want to relay. We, as the installer on a TPO job, are not able to troubleshoot or monitor production. We get it turned on and we hand it over to that third-party owner company. That's who's going to be the homeowner's best bet for getting information. If they think something's wrong, if they think something's going on, a lot of times, a lot of these companies like, Good Leap and Enphase and all that, they're going to be monitoring those systems themselves daily, every minute, to make sure it's doing exactly what they want it to, because it's their system. They're the ones, investing in it essentially. And so they have a vested interest in making sure that it's working. But if the homeowner wants to see what's going on, there's going to be a couple different nuances, I guess, to how they're going to be able to see it. If it is an Enphase system, then we actually can do something. We just pop into the back end of Enphase and we add them as guest hosts, basically. So the primary host is going to be the TPO, the lender, and we can get the homeowner access via that portal. Tesla, homeowners should already have access because generally they need to be the one to activate Tesla, but before we even wrap up the project. Tesla's a little quirky that way. And then for Q Cells and Q Home, the homeowners get similarly, they get their login information in their email. If it's a light reach job, homeowners again have the app from the start because they should have done their credit qualifications through there day one, essentially. So they should be able
It's in their portal where they even enter in like their ACH information. Their homeowner portal is where they get it from the jump.
Yep, absolutely. So yes, and yeah, Daniel, great question. Who to reach out to add them? Fire it off to support@joinESP, and we'll take care of them. So we'll get them. And then last,
I'm
go
so
ahead.
sorry, Danny. Just to piggyback off of that, I have been in really good contact with Ensign talking about the monitoring experience that's taken place with them. It's been poor and they admit to it. It's something new for them, right? So they said that is all under control, should be good. So if you were to contact Infin again, I'm sure they could help you as well as using that email for support at ESP. So
Yeah, to add the guest host, we can do that, no problem. But I believe they should also be, Enfin should be able to.
should
So.
be able to too. Yeah.
One quirk about that, this is a little bit of a sidebar. The homeowner's best bet, if they have a Q Cells or Q Home device, they should open up the portal on their desktop first before they try and do anything through their phone. Because there's like a thing that pops up, like a user agreement, basically. And on a phone, it's like invisibly scrolled all the way to the side and they can't ever retrieve it. So that's just a total aside, again, for anybody who's got that.
Good. That's good info, Dan. Thanks.
Yeah.
I got you. Yeah. And then lastly, as has been the case for many years, if they have a cash or a loan, we are going to take care of them. We offer our service plan monitoring, give them a monthly health check, and they will get login info in their email, and we can help them with any other monitoring questions they have. So that is that. Escalation retention. Brandon, you worked really closely with Gayla and Matt. Would you like to take this one?
Yeah, for sure. How do we speed up the process of getting the job from intake to glass on roof? And many of the delays typically comes from just not having all the docs in hand. So why is it important? If the job goes on hold and we have stipulations in place with the lender, we can't earn NTP. So it's very important that you snag a recent utility bill, make sure stipulations are clear, credit is passed, signatures are on that HIA or lender agreement for PPAs, and then submit your sale. Anytime you submit it a little early, ESP is being lenient and such that we're allowing docs packages to come in, schedule the site survey, but it's leading to a poor process, if you will, because you think you've done it all because site survey is scheduled, we allowed it to happen. But a lot of times we got to backtrack now and say, hey, we're missing this, that, or the other. So just know that a little forgiveness on our side doesn't mean that from the sales perspective, we don't need to, complete the docs package.
Hey, Brandon, question for you, if I can.
Yeah, do it.
What do you think the top 2 things are that make a job not clean, dirty, that's missing, that we cannot get NTP or STIPs cleared?
Okay, I'm going to give you my answer and let's see if it matches what you're thinking. Ready?
Okay.
Welcome call is missed so many times, guys. And then the utility bill is not actually uploaded. It is uploaded and we can't read the darn thing because it's taken with a droid or something. Sorry, Danny. Yeah.
Whoa.
So
it's fuzzy. Yeah.
Or
I think
the final page.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Andy.
Yeah. No, I think probably the one thing that probably leads the pack is like the utility bill, the lack of a utility bill, the wrong utility bill, a utility bill from 3 years ago. That doesn't mean anything. A utility bill that has no usage, or it's just the wrong page of the utility bill. Like, you guys, it's not a deal if it doesn't have a utility bill. Literally, it just isn't. And then I think the second thing is probably a tie between welcome call and ACH if it's needed. I think a lot of the lenders, they require that banking information in order for it to go through and like be real. Yeah, sure, you can get the deal signed. Yeah, sure, we can possibly even get like a site survey set up and get that done, but it stops dead in its tracks if you don't have that information from the homeowner. So I think make sure you're getting the welcome call completed, make sure you're getting the utility bill, and make sure you're getting the ACH. And if you tag those 3 things, you're probably going to pick up a clean deal submission off the bat. And missing any of those 3 things, you're stuck in the mud.
Yep. And we will have a harder time on the retention protocol when it comes time for, hey, yeah, homeowner wants to cancel. And it's like, ooh, yeah, it could be something easy. It could just be like, you know what, all it is, we just need a couple docs. We're going to try and get that through. It'll be easy. But
perfect segue. Yeah.
Perfect of that. If it gets past that and things start to get a little hairy with that, that's where an escalation may come in and still retention. So that's where on the right side here, we have some pointers that we would love your assistance in getting through there. So Brandon, do you want to keep going there?
Yeah, I would also say that, like, I know what it's like to be in the home and you got to get the sale and it's 9 o'clock and everyone's getting tired and you want to keep that energy alive. So maybe you just get the docs signed, right? Just know that like it's important that you go back or know what is truly necessary. And we have a dealer that, whether his reps are tenured or brand new, he gives them a checklist. And we have this too for you, but they have to check it all before they leave the home. That way you can sleep tight at night, no stress. So maybe do that for your teams if you're not already, or do it for yourself. Say, I need this. Is it done? And check it off on the side of your computer or whatever. I think that would go a long way. I also wanted to say that we have a change order process that's being rolled out here very soon, and that'll be through Matt. So you'll get to know him really well. When a change order does come into play, that's going to be a smooth, documented process for everybody. So I'm excited for that.
For sure. Yeah. And again, our ultimate goal is we want to get the job installed too, no matter what. That's our game plan. We're not trying to do anything weird. We are on your side. We're on the homeowner side too. I mean, everybody is working this together. We are going to get a good product on the roof that serves the homeowner for many years and makes you money. And you can, sleep well at night. Like you said, that you got all your ducks in a row. You got money in the bank. It's all good. That's what we want.
ESP doesn't get paid either, guys. So one team, one dream. We don't get paid unless you do. It's not a one-sided approach here.
For sure. Okay. Ooh, star of the show. Identifying unpermitted structures. So
Ooh la la.
I had a lot of fun with this, actually, to be totally honest, because all I did was I pulled up our Slack, our company-wide Slack, and I typed unpermitted, and it just came up with gobs of this stuff. And so we want to talk about this because this is a huge issue for us, because we don't know about it until sometimes we're already pretty well underway. So the more you can do, and we sent out the dealer update as some questions that you can ask, keep them in your repertoire, and also know what to look for. So these are our visual examples here. I'm actually going to do this real quick so I can start editing these slides and zooming in on some of these images, because they're just too much, guys. They're just too much.
For a lot of reps, they're out there selling in person. So you got to keep your eyes open while you're loading that, Danny. But for guys selling remotely, you got to be asking the question during the point of sale. Hey guys, is there anything on the property that I should be, cautious of? Do you have unpermitted structures? Is everything taken care of? And then that way you're addressing it up front, because the worst thing that can happen is, and we can't check for all permits for a house. I'm telling you, like, it's impossible. So if an inspector, and they will show up on site, they're going to take a look. And if they call something out, now it's on the homeowner and the rep to work together to try to get that unpermitted structure taken care of. ESP will also help, but it's not our responsibility at that point. We're going to do everything we can to help support you, but just know that things like this need to be, called out upfront at point of sale.
Up front, so we can avoid them or head them off and say like, hey, we know this is going to slow it down, and so we need your assistance. So this is an example of, they have this nice little, backyard awning. Looks okay. It doesn't quite match the house, but there's no accounting for taste. It's fine. It's not my house. I wouldn't paint it like that, but whatever. But if you look down here, Andy called this out earlier. If you look down here at the support posts, that's not how you're supposed to anchor these to the ground. And yeah, look at the details. Look at little things like that. The other thing here, and I can't tell, I don't know if you can really see it in the image here, but there is electrical run on this pergola, which means that if it is an unpermitted but electrified structure, that becomes everybody's problem. So even if we're not anywhere close to it with the solar, the inspector is going to come out and be like, what? Hold. So
Riverside County is notorious for that. So if you're selling in the Inland Empire area, right, just know that electrical is ran on the patio. They're going to call it out 100% of the time.
And the other thing too, guys, is every city, every AHJ is totally different. And they have totally different tolerances for this stuff. And they have completely different processes. Like I think on one of these projects, they were able to just get the homeowner to sign a thing that said, yeah, I know I've been a bad boy. I'm sorry. I'll get this fixed. Then we could still wrap up, but they had to. So if that's not available, it's not an option, then we're dead in the water and we got to get fixed. This was one that was an MPU that, if you look at the right side here, that's where it used to be. That wasn't one that we took out and put a new one in. This was how it was when we showed up on site, and we were kind of like, ooh, hey, that looks like maybe some DIY work. So look for things like this. If you see little, structures that are just a little bit out of place, not something's off about this. Look, it would have been probably cleaned up a lot better if a professional had done it. Things like that.
Whoever was on Pinterest and thought this was a good idea.
So this one, and so here's where you do have to be a little bit of a sleuth. So these are both pool houses or outbuildings rather. If you were to guess, which one of these is permitted?
Okay. I'll answer this. I would say that the one on the left is the one that's permitted just from a glance.
It's not.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing. So this is the trick. So this is just a pool house that they put in that, again, it looks pretty good. I'm sure they had a perfectly capable contractor or handyman put together some of it. But when we got to our stage of saying, hey, yeah, we're ready to turn the solar on, and the inspector comes out and they say, oh, hey, yeah, no, this entire thing out here is electrified and it cannot be because it was never permitted. And you have somebody living there, you're going to have to cut the power and kick them out in order to get it passed on an inspection. So these are weird things that you have to just ask the homeowner and say, like, hey, listen, did this go? I mean, it's great. It looks cool, but be on the lookout. Have your nose and your eyes and ears and everything. I'll use all your senses is what I'm trying to say. So, and then just for a treat, this last one, this just killed me because there's so many.
The door to nowhere.
Where do those stairs go?
Steps to nowhere.
What's happening here? What's going on? What was going on with this doorway? This little, addition. There's a little door back here, but behind this, that's kind of sealed off. And let's see.
Where should we put the inverter in that picture, everyone?
Yeah. And, if an inspector walks around the side of the house, we may not be putting solar anywhere near this, but if an inspector comes around the corner and sees this, what do you think they're doing? What do you think they're saying? It's just one of these situations. Like, again, I truly believe solar is for everyone. I think that everyone deserves the opportunity to save a ton of money, and there is a 0% judgment on, what somebody does with their property. It's their property. They should be allowed to do what they want with it. But just know that as soon as we have to come on site and get some official sign-offs and everything like that, situations like this are going to make our job trickier.
I would say, Danny, that sometimes you may or may not know if it's permitted or not.
Exactly.
Go on Google Maps or take a picture yourself. When you submit the sale to ESP, circle it. Say, this is a concern of mine. Can you look into it?
Yep.
We'll be proactive. We'll notate it, and we'll look at permits that are on record and see if it matches.
Yep. For what it's worth on this one, we did call it out at site survey and say, hey, I have some concerns. And before we got to install, we were like, we need a permit deep dive on this. We were pumping the brakes pretty early on. So,
oh gosh, I do have to say, that's great. By the way, before I forget, guys, just because somebody sold their house and then bought the house doesn't make it permitted.
Nope.
So what it means is if that homeowner just bought the house and you're going to that home because it showed up on public records as a new home purchase and you want to get them solar, great. But that doesn't mean everything's permitted. It should be disclosed with the real estate agent that, hey, this isn't permitted. This is on you to take care of. But you know what they do? Their sales too. They won't say anything.
I have a great example of that is actually from my grandparents that we'll get to in a second. So,
okay.
Show that. So this was an interesting one. So again, this is back to the situation of, could we have caught this? Is it obvious enough to stop us in our tracks? I don't know, but we could have asked the homeowner, and the homeowner did call something out about it. So this is a generator. This is a Briggs & Stratton backup Fortress So I don't know how many kilowatt hours, whatever. One thing, the only thing that I could see about this that kind of just set off something in my head was when you look behind the generator, it's a little wonky, and
The gas line,
gas line, and also
the electrical.
Yep. I'm pretty sure, and this may not be the case in every HDM, I'm pretty sure they would have a permit card somewhere on that unless they decided to remove it or take it off. So things like that. And then, so as you can see here, so this is the job this is where we were working. The generator is on an entirely separate building. That's not attached to the main house. We did all of our work, panels, battery, backup, everything, separate unit entirely. But it still held up the process because once they got on site, they said, yo, this doesn't, you have to basically unplug this, de-electrify it in order to pass inspection. And the homeowner was like, well, I don't want to do that because this is my backup generator. And I want both. I want batteries and generator. And it's like, great, that's your prerogative. Unfortunately, ESP is a solar and battery installer. We are not a generator technician company. So we can't get tied up into that. It's not something it's not a service we can provide to help you get past that permitting hurdle. So one of the things there. And
Good share, Dano.
So this is my grandparents' house. This is in Claremont. They lived here for like 63 years. My mom, my aunt grew up in this house. I spent many a childhood year there. They sold it. They passed away, rest in peace. Bless their hearts. But they sold it, and it wasn't until the home inspector, so to your point, Brandon, the home inspector came by and was like, wait a minute, hold on, like this isn't supposed to be, this entire part of the house back here that wraps around to their backyard, that's not part of the original structure, and it was never permitted.
Wow. And it looks good.
It looks good, but as you can see,
It looks like an old timey house, like Craftsman's house or something. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So the new owners bought it and did a massive retrofit of a lot of things here. Like these stairs, those are not the stairs that my grandparents had put in. They're actually like up to code. Like they're not a steep cement grade, basically going up the backyard.
They're too tall or too short.
Exactly. Too short, I think was the thing. They actually expanded the living space and got it all permitted, and it matches. Everything's good. The solar has those big call outs. This is your disconnect. This is your, has the requisite labels and placards and everything like that. Their old solar system didn't have that. It was just some guy who worked at the university nearby. It was like, hey, do you want solar? I just do this on the side. I'll come out and plug in some panels. Well, they had solar for a long time, but it was not up to code.
I will tell you this. The reason that I'm in sales is because I would not want to do operations job. Let me tell you, it's not easy to dot your I's and cross your T's on every single piece of a home puzzle.
Yep.
It's gnarly what installers do, EPCs do. But anyways, appreciate the team and what they do to go to bat for you.
1,000%.
Yeah, there's a lot to it, guys. And we appreciate you guys understanding. This is a really good thing to know pre-sale to avoid those hurdles on the back end.
Yep, definitely. Anytime, again, we are going to find a way to do it safely, aesthetically, and up to code. Those are our three things, and it's going to produce what we say it's going to do. If we can tick all those boxes, amazing. We're going to find a way to do it. But there are too many times where these particular issues just hit us up against a wall, and we have to. We would love your help up front avoiding that wall. Again, we sent this out with the newsletter. Refer back to this. Train yourself up on it. Make sure you ask, hey, is there anything on the property to your knowledge that didn't go through the usual red tape? And just be on your toes. So,
yeah, by asking this question, don't be scared, right? This
is
professional at the dinner table. Homeowners don't get this question from other the sales reps that might be trying to earn their business as well, right? So by you asking, they're like, oh, you really do know your stuff and you're being proactive in the approach. And that's why I want to choose that installers, because they care about the property and they want to do things right in the mechanics of the solar install. So just know this is helpful for everybody to perform this. Yeah.
Yes. Awesome. All right. Well, last but not least, I wanted to leave us with a little moment of Zen. And we have a little bit of time? We might have time for a couple more Q&As if anybody wants to drop something in. But while you're thinking of questions, ask yourself this. And I was thinking about this recently. I can't remember where I heard it. I think I was just talking to a buddy. It may have not had nothing to do with solar, but that came up of, is your hope greater than your fear? And that applies to anything that you're doing. Applies to, starting a business. It applies to even walking up to the door of an appointment, or even to knock in the first place. If you are afraid they're going to say no, you're already dead, man. You just ain't hit the dirt yet. So you want to weigh that in your mind. Is there anything that you are doing where you're letting fear supersede your amount of hope that you have for whatever the outcome is? Because if you have hope for it, at least in my opinion, in my experience too, the way forward will be shown, as long as you're not, backing away from it totally and running for the exits already. So, Brandon, you look like you're deep in thought about this. What do you think?
I think about, one of my first times ever going into our house, which is 11, 12 years ago. I was so nervous. I did have fear, right? Talking to people you don't know, putting yourself in an unfamiliar territory. Dude, homeowners are like dogs. They can sniff you out. Your aura is
You smell like you're shaking in your boots, son.
Mission breath. I smell it.
yeah. Well, sometimes it's good because they want to give you the business for being new, and it's okay to say that. I actually went for 3 years saying I was new because eventually I figured it out, and it quasi worked in the house. And it was like, you run with what you got, right? But then at the same time, I had confidence, and that confidence, that fear that was baked inside of me. So I think what I'm saying here is just, guys, just stay positive out there. I think this clip's great, Danny. That's what I was thinking about.
Yeah. I think I had a leader back in the day that always used to say, hope is not a strategy. And I hope I win the lottery, but that's not a good strategy because the odds are probably not good that I'm going to win the lottery, but I'm still hoping for it.
Yep.
And so go in with confidence. So if you have a strategy, right, if you have some confidence going into it, it's going to beat down that fear because you will be confident when you're moving forward. And I think for me, like my biggest thing in this whole solar game, this whole solar space is solar makes sense almost 100% of the time. And it's just about trying to help somebody save some money, right? If you're interested in saving money, cool, let's move forward to the next steps. If you're interested in taking control of something you have zero control of, let's move forward to the next steps. If you know that the cost of electricity is going up and you want to do something about it, let's go forward to the next steps. Be confident in that, and that'll push down the fear, or it'll just make it go away altogether and you'll be running. Just run.
Yeah. What you said, Andy, that triggered me too. I think a lot of people maybe have in their head, like, oh, I hope it works out. Oh, I hope it, and treat hope as if it's just sort of an attitude of like, oh, whatever. Yeah. I hope it's okay. The difference in hope and fear is that hope is actually something that drives action, and it's fear will not. If you have fear, you are going to not be searching for any option other than get me out of here. If you have hope, you are going to be naturally just driven to look for solutions and look for a strategy if you don't already.
For sure.
So I think that's a great point. Great way to look at it. So
love it. Well, thanks for joining
everyone.
Everybody
Enjoyed this episode.
Yeah.
If you have any suggestions, reach out to me or Andy or Danny. Let us know what you want the next FAQ to be all about. We'll help strategize. And thanks for joining.
Absolutely. Sales at Join ESP or marketing at Join ESP. Either way.
Love it. Thanks, everyone.
Happy Friday.
Bye.
Happy weekend.
See you guys.